Alright, welcome to this video where we're going to talk about angle, pair, relationships. What's going to happen is we're going to see things like supplementary angles, complementary angles, and vertical angles even. And we'll even use some angle addition postulate in there. Let's go ahead and start off with this problem. Alright, at the get-go, I'm going to identify that rays MA and MC are opposite rays because those 3 points, MA and C, are collinear. What that does is help me figure out that this angle and this angle are actually supplementary. That's because angle AMB and angle BMC are a linear pair, so that makes them supplementary. If you forget what that means that they add to 180 degrees. So I know that if I take the 3x plus 18 and add the 96 to it, that would equal 180. Now I've got a pretty easy equation to solve. You'll want to do things like combining like terms here. So 3x plus 18 plus 96 ends up being 114. And I will subtract the 114 from both sides. And so 3x will equal 66. Is what 180 minus 114 is, and when I divide by 3, I get x is equal to 22. Now, this is my final answer because the instruction was to find the value of x. You don't have to go plugging that in to find the measure of an angle. I'll be showing an example of that next, actually. So on our next example, what's going to happen is we are going to find the measure of angle SOT. So if I follow the letters SOT, it is this acute angle 3x plus 7. Now that's not the measure. I will need to figure out the value of x first on this problem. Now the important thing to recognize here is that this angle right here is marked as being a right angle, so it is 90 degrees for angle ROS. Well, if it's 90 degrees, all 4 angles at this intersection are going to be 90 degrees, including angle UOS, which is really super helpful. I know that these two angles are complementary. Angle UOT and angle SOT are complementary because they are going to add to 90 degrees. So what I know is that 5x plus 3 plus 3x plus 7 equals 90 degrees. Now, if you are sitting there thinking, wow, he should really combine like terms, you are correct. 5x and 3x makes for 8x. 3 and 7 makes for positive 10. Now, this is a lovely two-step equation. We're going to subtract 10 from both sides, so 8x will equal 80, divide by 8, x will equal 10. 80 divided by 8 is 10. Now, before you circle that saying, this is my final answer, I found what x is, you would be incorrect because of the instructions. You want to really pay attention to these. Find the measure of angle SOT. It didn't say find the value of x. It said find the measure of angle SOT, but this is going to make that possible. So the measure of angle SOT, since SOT is 3x plus 7, I can actually use substitution property now. I will take the value of 10 for x and replace x with that. So the measure of angle SOT will equal 3 times 10 plus 7. Now I can multiply. 3 times 10 is 30. Add 7, 37. The measure of angle SOT is equal to 37 is my final answer for this problem. All right, on example 3, we are looking at something that's actually not complementary, not supplementary. We have 2 intersecting lines. You should start thinking about vertical angles here. And the thing about vertical angles is that they are always congruent. So these 2 angles would actually be the same measure. So I can go ahead and make the conclusion, since they're vertical angles, that 2 plus 3x must equal 62. Now, if you're wondering about this line in the middle, it was really just there to throw you off. It serves real no purpose on this problem. This line could have not been there. So boo-hoo on them for throwing that in, or me since I made the problem. Now what I can do is actually just solve this equation. I do have to subtract 2 at the beginning. A little awkward that it was written first, but this is the step you follow. Positive 2 gets canceled by minusing 2. So 3x will equal 60 now. 62 minus 2. And I can divide by the 3 on both sides to get x equal to 20. Now, let's make sure this is what we're supposed to do. Find the value of x. That is my final answer. All right, and on our last problem, what's going to happen is we are going to just simply use Angle Addition Postulate, and I'll explain what that means. There's no special relationship for the x minus 24 and the 29, but if I consider all 3 angles together, added together, I can actually know something about this problem. Because that's going to make a full revolution, then that's actually going to be 360 degrees. So what I can do is I can actually add all 3 angles together to equal 360. Some people get super annoyed by this little arc here. That's just demonstrating that this angle is greater than 180 degrees. It went all the way around right there. So my first step is to say x minus 24 plus the 29 plus the 296 does equal 360 degrees. Now what I'll do is start combining like terms. I'll start with these first 2. A lot of people make a mistake here. So it's going to be x plus 5. When you see negative 24 plus 29, that's going to be positive 5. Make sure that you're actually doing negative 24. A lot of people get thrown off there. I still have the plus 296 right here. And now what I can do is combine the 5 and the 296. So x plus 301 equals 360. And x will equal 59. Now I did forget to show subtracting 301 right there, but I think you knew what I was doing. This is my final answer. Since I was simplifying the value of x, make sure you reference those instructions to make sure you're not missing what to do at the end with that value of x. All right, that wraps my video. Please let me know if you got any questions. Thank you.